Welcome to Dearest. Dearest slogan is a great place to raise a family. Dearest offers affordable homes and other various forms of entertainment and fun. Dearest has many housing developments, including upper elite housing, which has large areas of land, good parking, two-story homes, and garages. Middle-class housing that is more cramped in space, but is a variation of 1 to 2-story homes. Each has garage, and there's a community garden located in the center where each person can own a plot of land and grow either fruits, vegetables, or flowers. Over here, we have a pond. This is a community pond where people can go fishing, swimming, canoeing, kayaking, and just overall have fun. Around it, there's a nature trail where people can walk around with various places to stop with benches. And it's surrounded by a forest. Over here, we have lower class housing. Lower class housing is a little bit more spaced out, only because there's less housing for lower class individuals. Each of them has a driveway, and every house is 1 story. In the middle of Dearest, we have our schools. Our one school is a private school that is primarily upper elite and middle class housing due to the fact that it is tuition school. We have our kindergarten, elementary, middle, and high school, and our public school, which is open to everybody and the general public. We have our elementary, middle, and high school. Next to the school, we have a dog park for people who own pets or various small animals they can run around and play with. There is a nature trail that goes around the park as well, and we have park parking. Below the park is a drive-in movie theater. This allows up to 37 people at a time. The people can tune into a radio station and listen to the movie at whatever volume they choose. The movie theater goes in rows of height, from tallest in the back to shortest, so everyone is able to see the movie. Here we have the entrance and exit for a turnpike, as well as a railroad. These are transportation to the city and anywhere people may want to go. Over here we have our businesses. Businesses in yellow are needs that people will need, such as food, clothing for wearing, and supplies. The ones in red are wants, like shoes and clothing that is not a necessity for school, and just hunting, tackle gear for the pond, as well as canoes and kayaking. And then we have our giant grocery store over here. So this is an example of a upper elite class housing. The houses wouldn't have this fancy of a gate, but they would have fencing around the perimeter of the house. It would be a 2-story house with an area for parking and a long, wide driveway. Middle class housing varies on the price of the house. This is an example of a 2-story house. Some of them might be 1 story. They have a pretty large driveway and a small walkway that leads up to the front of the house. There isn't much land. Here we have an example of lower middle class housing. Each house is 1 story, has a garage with a small driveway, and a little bit of land in the front. There will be sidewalks for each housing, except for upper elite. Over here would be an example of what a drive-in theater would look like. However, Dearest's would have levels varying in height so everyone could see the movie, and there wouldn't be this much space and these many cars, because we can only hold about 37 people. And here's an example of a pond. Of course, ours would be substantially larger and would not have a bridge but it would have a nature trail around it, as well as ducks and other animals that would be living there, like cattails, etc. We would have about 2 to 3 kids per household if there were families. Since Dearest is family-oriented, there would be a lot more families, and they would be living in the middle class or elite class areas. The lower income houses are more for individuals and elderly couples or couples in general. For business, we do allow entrepreneurs and anyone who would looking to start a business. We have some smaller business areas like here and here that we would allow people to. The grocery store and clothing shops are independent and owned by other people. This would make commute time to the business area about 10 to 15 minutes depending on where you live, and 45 minutes depending on where you live and where you're going in the city. What methods of transportation would be available are the turnpike and railroads. Railroads are a cheaper alternative, and turnpikes are nice and easy because you can go very fast on them with a car. A lot of the times people would be carpooling, so it would make less amount of cars on the road and less traffic for areas.
There's going to be a meeting in here in a couple minutes.
Oh, okay.